Even in the Viking ideology of this concept, they have made room for such an idea. They're not saying that you physically go to these realms, but they're not saying that you don't either. What they're saying is there was a bridge that was created to get from one realm to the next. So you could hop realms at one time by way of a particular bridge. It was a rainbow bridge. And it was destroyed. It was destroyed. It was destroyed, and you could no longer hop on this rainbow bridge and get from one realm to the next, all the way out to this realm and then back within it. You no longer could do that. What they established was that you would now be able to get from one realm to the next by utilizing carbon. How would they do that? How would you utilize carbon to get between these realms? You see these circles that distinguish the spaces between are all black circles. You could say that black color is synonymous with carbon. This carbon would be the aspect that those that wanted to go from one realm to the next intentionally would need to have within them, activated in the appropriate manner that allows their vessel to combust in a way, combust meaning to rev its engine up, to awaken, and allow the spirit of the person to move from one realm to another and back. All while the body of the individual is planted right here on earth, in the center of it all. And how these people viewed those that had the carbon or not was by way of blood. It's a bloodline thing. You're either born with it or you're not. Yeah. It says here that the Vikings believed that the royalty, physical royalty, people that were born through a royal bloodline, or the gods were the ones that would have access to going in between these things. All others that do not have such are bound right here in the center, and they can go no further. When we look at this existence that we have, and we see all the things that thrive and that go back into creation after they've thrived to their max, there's nothing new here. This realm does not birth anything new outside of what has already been established for this realm. I've said many times in many of my podcasts and Bible studies and different communications that this realm is filled with main character energy, and those that have are just space holders. They're just those that are here to animate the environment so that the main characters don't really realize where they are, and that they really look to get the most out of this environment for whatever duration of time that they're bound here. And in order to get the most out of this environment, they've got to believe this environment is real. If they don't, then they won't give it all they have. They'll play with it. In fact, I spoke to the humans and those that inhabit this realm, those main characters, as what another individual I heard on social media speak to as Omega class sentient beings. the last in its evolution, which makes it Omega. It's the latest version, the top tier of its kind. Sentient, meaning it can interact with its environment as if it's real. It knows no difference. There's no distinguishment from what it thinks, feels, and sees. It actually is a entity being put in a thing, and they live it out as if it's real. An avatar come to life in a game. Yet this avatar, while in the game, would need to perfect aspects of its own self by utilizing the very components of the game. And even though this avatar can go from one realm to the next by using its molecular structure and its spiritual capacity, it will take many comings and goings from this realm and back to it to master every aspect of these realms. So that even though this avatar is bound right here in Midgard, in the center of the bullseye, it can pull from other realms at will when need be to serve it in whatever capacity it needs while bound within Midgard. This is what I got from that interview with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know how I was able to do this, but I just listened and it came to me. And it's just as fluid as a waterfall.